Hi, this is Marty Leckletter. I'm a product manager at IBM, and today I want to show you a pretty cool app I built with Forms Experience Builder. So the Forms Experience Builder application I'm going to show you here is one for forecasting. This is a secure application, so I would actually log on from my iPhone. In this case, perhaps this is a link that's passed to me through email. And it calls up my current forecast and allows me to view it and update it as need be. It also brings in my actual performance, so there's a service call going to an ERP system or perhaps some other back end. You can see there it's telling me that I've got $400,000 worth of revenue that I've sold so far against the plan number, which that number also would come from a back end. And then it shows my current forecast. So I'm forecasting 73% with the two deals I have in there against the plan of 1.5 million. So I've got this ability here to add a new deal. I can go in and take a look at a particular record. Maybe I want to edit that one. Add some new comments to it based on progress with the deal. Maybe there's one that I want to remove, or perhaps take a look at that one as well. So what I have here is a table with its own little sub-form. So you can think of this as kind of a form within a form. And to add another deal here is just simply bringing up the form and typing in a new deal, and then that would get added to the table and then update the forecast amount. So that's it. It's pretty cool. It fits very nicely in the iPhone. It's a web application. It's not a native application, but you can see that it behaves and has some features here which are quite nice on a mobile device like this. So let's take a look at how this form was constructed. Here I'm in design mode in Forms Experience Builder. I'm looking at the form I was using on my iPhone. It's laid out top to bottom on this canvas here. You see off to the side I've got a palette of widgets that are used in a drag and drop manner to actually build this. Forecast date, this is a date field. I've got a little bit of JavaScript in here, which on the on show event is just simply calculating what today's date is and setting that. I can of course override that. The rep name was one where I'm pulling that from Portal, and the way that I'm doing this is there's an event that I've tied to the form showing, so this initial showing of the form, and I'm calling it service, and that service is called get current portal user information. This is a service which is included with Forms Experience Builder if you want to use it with WebSphere Portal. And the configuration I have here is pretty straightforward. With any service you get this ability to do inputs and outputs, and in this case there's no inputs, it's simply who I'm logged in as, but what I'm pulling out is the name, and then I'm assigning that to the rep name field in the form. You can see I can get other information out of the portal user API as well. So that's pretty straightforward. And going kind of top to bottom here with the form, one other item I want to show you is once I know the rep name, when the rep name is loaded or changes, I'm calling another service, and this service is the retrieve service that actually takes the rep name as input and then goes to the back end and then gets the plan number and actual number. So as you recall, those are numbers that are stored in the back end ERP or database that I'm pulling into this dynamically. That way, as the accounting systems change, it's reflected in the forecast. The forecast data itself is calculated and stored in Forms Experience Builder. Looking at these two sections here, these are collapsible sections. You've got the ability to set whether or not these are able to collapse, how they show initially, expanded or collapsed. I've got just simple text strings in here, so this is just a piece of text. And then in this column I've got another text string. But what I've done with this text string is I've inserted a variable, so you've got this ability to take any variable from the form and make that part of a text string. And that allows me to do a nice clean presentation of the actual plan and forecast information. So I essentially do the same thing down here below. Now I'm calculating some things here, such as the variance. I've got to calculate the forecast update based on the records that are entered into the deal table, and I'm doing that in a hidden section here. So this is where I actually retrieve my values and then do my calculations. And as an example, we'll take a look at one of these calculations here. The number of deals in the table, I've got to sum those deals to reflect that in my forecast amount. So I've got a formula on that, and that's simply just doing a table sum based on the column amount. You've got this ability to use a number of different operators, mathematical operators, to do calculations in Forms Experience Builder. But to keep this nice, I just simply hide all this, and I've got a rule on it. And this rule keeps it out of the sight of the end user. An administrator, of course, would know how to reveal that and expose all that. So the deals themselves get entered into this table. This is the summary view of the table, and the table itself, you can think of that as a subform, and that's over here, just nested underneath. And here, this is just another form essentially laid out, and the fields are very straightforward. So that's pretty much it, top to bottom of the form. A couple keys for developing a form for use on a mobile device. One is the form is very narrow. The other, it's one column, it's not complicated, just a very simple layout. And as a web application, it runs just fine.